the launch of Revival Today Church. We know some of you are moving, we know some of you are interested in moving, and we want you to know we put a special package together just for you. What I want you to do is go to revivaltoday.com/moving. Fill out that form, and then once we get that form, we'll send you a special package that's full of resources to help you get to know Pittsburgh. We're so excited, we know you are so excited, and we can't wait to see you at Revival Today Church.
Tonight are on the broad road that leads to destruction. And tonight, I would say with Moses, I would say with Joshua, turn, repent, choose God, serve Him, live for Him. That is the message of God tonight to this great audience of people at Yankee Stadium.
I see revival coming to planet Earth. Maybe as never before. It would be untold numbers, and untold, uncounted multitudes that will be saved. The dead will be raised. The arthritic will be healed. Cancer will be healed. No disease would be able to stand before God's people, and that it would be a worldwide situation.
There's a church that doesn't just know about God, they know God. They don't just believe in His power, they carry His power. God will shake the United States of America one last time, not by might, not by power, but by my Spirit.
Hi, this is Stefan from Feed the Hungry, and I'd like to give you just a quick update on what's been happening in 2020. You know, we couldn't do what we do without the help of the Friends of Revival Today and Brother Jonathan and Sister Evangelist Shuttlesworth, who are feeding over 1,200 kids each and every day with good food and the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's been a crazy year, but God has been good. We've seen Him do some incredible things in reaching out and providing life-saving hope to the least of these. And for those of us here in the United States, you know, we've experienced a lot of ups and downs through these COVID shutdowns and economic crises. And for some, it's been a blessing in disguise. For others, it's brought a lot of hardship with loss of jobs and downturns in business. But through it all, you have been faithful and you have put the Lord first. Thank you so much for considering the poor above even ourselves. We've seen an increase of about 40% ministry this year. Over 20 million meal servings have gone out from Feed the Hungry to feed the hungry, to strengthen the church, and to reach the lost in 24 nations, including here in the United States. Hundreds of thousands of families have been able to get their prayer answered when they say, Lord, give us this day our daily bread. You've been there to provide life-sustaining, good, healthy meals to feed them and their families. Thank you for helping reach out around the world again, and God bless you.
The market cap is $2.168 trillion. And now the market, oh, it went to zero. Yo!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Check the Market. Our second day back on the air after our little break. Welcome Johnny, Ninja, D&D Investments from Portland, Oregon. Scott Morgeson. What's up? Christophoris from Indianapolis. Welcome. Welcome to Check the Market. It's looking like the NASDAQ is cruising. Futures up 174 points on the NASDAQ. S&P futures up 29 points, not too bad. And Dow futures basically flat, up 26 points. Still pre-market, we're up a little bit. So that's good news. We'll see where it ends tomorrow or this afternoon. Yesterday was a pretty good day in the market. We ended up way up. Up 30 on the S&P, 89 on the NASDAQ, and 273 on the Dow. Crazy news today. Alphabet, the parent company of Google, is declaring a 20-for-1 split, so we're going to be going over that today. Going to be looking at PayPal, bunch of other things. We buying the dip? Yes, we are. I say buy the dip in crypto, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum. I've been buying some more. Every month I buy a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit of Ethereum. Thank you, Sandra. I'm glad to be back too. Way up like Pelosi's eyebrows. Godly morning to you, Scott. There we go. All right, let's get into it. Alphabet stock splits. Punxsutawney Phil predicts 6 more weeks of winter, but his prediction percentage has been way low. Let's actually get into that article first. Charles, good morning to you. XRP to the moon, that's right. Let's see that the Punxsutawney Phil article first. He's actually better at predicting the stock market. Jason, good morning. More upside for natural gas. Natural gas was up yesterday, way up. Thank you, Sarah. Glad to be back. Do you guys have that article? We can start with a different one if they have a different one. There we go. Punxsutawney Phil predicts 6 more weeks of winter. Historically, that's bad news for the stock market. Let's see the article. I don't know why we're listening to a groundhog, but you listen to everybody else on Twitter with stock tips, so why not? Uh-oh. The news from Pennsylvania on Wednesday morning was that Punxsutawney Phil saw his own shadow, meaning, according to legend, of course, 6 more weeks of winter. Which, if you've ever seen it, I don't even understand how he cannot see his shadow. There's got like spotlights on him. There's like 4 shadows around him, 6 shadows. A research paper finds a correlation between the groundhog's prediction, or rather the human interpretation of the groundhog's purported looking for its shadow, and the U.S. stock market. Between 1928 and 2021, buy and hold returns are 2.8% higher around early spring than long winter predictions, according to a study from Sava Shanev and Arina Shuraeva of the University of Northumbria and Svetlana Fedorova from the Financial Research Institute of the Russian Ministry of Finance. I can't believe people get paid to write these research papers. The researchers, to be clear, do not find the groundhog to have stock market savvy. The findings imply major and persistent irrational optimism of U.S. investors, revolving around Groundhog Day. It's all psychological, everybody. Early spring prognostications, they say. The funny thing is that the groundhog might be better at the stock market than at his ostensible meteorology role. Research finds weather predictions right 50% of the time. Continue. That's it for that one? So he's actually better at predicting the stock market than he is at predicting the weather. Weather. There, that was real German of me. The weather. All right, next. Bill Murray having an off day. Alphabet Q4 earnings takeaways. Revenue beat, 20-for-1 stock split, record Pixel phone sales. Let's see it. Reported fourth quarter and full fiscal year earnings after market close Tuesday. Here are the key details for investors. What happened? Alphabet reported fourth quarter revenue of $75.3 billion, up 32% year over year. The total came in ahead of a consensus estimate of $72.1 billion, so that's a pretty nice beat. Alphabet reported fourth quarter earnings per share of $30.69, beating a consensus estimate of $27.48. That's pretty good. It's a 10% beat. Q4 saw an ongoing strong growth in our advertising business, which helped millions of businesses thrive and find new customers. A quarterly sales record for our Pixel phones despite supply constraints, and our cloud business continuing to grow strongly. Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai said the company reported search revenue of $43.3 billion. YouTube advertising revenue hit $8.6 billion. That's because they make you watch 2 or 3 before you can actually get to your YouTube video now. I should just get YouTube Red. That way I can get rid of that. Google Network segment revenue was $9.3 billion. Google Cloud revenue was $5.5 billion for the fourth quarter. Continue. Yeah. Scott said same result as last year. Yep. That's good, Michael. Along with its quarterly earnings, Alphabet announced a 20-for-1 stock split. The split will be paid as a one-time special stock dividend for the Class A, Class B, and Class C shares of the company. If the stock split is approved, it'll be effective with a record date of close of business on July 1st, 2022. The dividend will be payable at the close of business on July 15th. Alphabet said it's continuing to invest in long-term opportunities for services that partners and businesses need. The company will host a conference call at 5 p.m. That's yesterday. Google shares are up 6% to $29.30 in after-hours trading, and they're actually up way higher than that now. Where are we at pre-market? It's up in 9.7% to $3,024 per share. So Google is cruising there, or Alphabet, whatever you prefer to call it. Continue. All right, next. Why the stock market is not out of the woods yet. Let's see it. CFA Cameron Dawson, CFA and Chief Marketing Strategist at Field Point Private, joined Benzinga's pre-market prep show Tuesday morning. After a modest gain on Tuesday morning, the S&P 500 is about 300 points off its January intraday low of 4,222.62. But Dawson said investors definitely aren't out of the woods yet. Why is this story important to investors? We certainly saw oversold conditions emerge at the end of last week, and the bounce that we've seen over the past couple of days supports the fact that we're moving out of the oversold condition. We really can't decide or judge the ability to say we should be selling rallies or buying dips until we see the health and magnitude and speed and volume of this bounce, she said. Continue. When we look and zoom out longer term, we don't think that we're really out of the woods yet. To say that we're going to return to this up and to the right unflinching rally that we've seen over the past, let's call it 20 months, and that's because of this tighter liquidity environment. Beware bounces. Dawson said investors should get used to elevated market volatility in the near term, and she cautioned them about getting too enthusiastic just because the market bounces aggressively off of a recent bottom. In fact, during the bursting of the dot-com bubble from 2000 to 2002, Dawson highlighted 5 NASDAQ rallies of at least 12% within a bear market that dropped the index 78% from its bubble highs. I say buy the dip. Put that that one meme up that I sent with the like buy the dip, and then I missed out on it or something. Do you have that one? Okay. There we go. Stages of a trader number 2. I'll buy when it dips. It'll go lower. I'll buy when it dips. It'll go lower. I'll buy when it dips. It'll go lower. Don't miss out just because you're afraid to or whatever. Make sure you don't gamble. Research. Do your research on the stocks. But when it hits oversold levels, it generally is going to go back up. That's what happened with the stock market here recently. All right, next. What else do we have? Alphabet stock split could pave the way for addition to the Dow Jones Industrial Average by Robert Hum. Let's see it. Alphabet announced a 20-for-1 stock split in its Q4 21 earnings report on Tuesday. Before its earnings report sent shares up more than 8%. Alphabet's shares closed at $27.53, now up to $3,043. These shares, which were the main class of shares for Google until 2012, traded at a slight premium to its newer Class C shares, which carry no voting rights. Split adjusted, that would be equivalent to 137, so we're probably looking in the 140-150 range at this point. IBM's closing price on Tuesday was $135.53, with IBM's recent spin-off of its managed infrastructure business, Kyndryl, and its data and analytics business for healthcare companies, Watson Health, Big Blue, is shrinking. And even before spin-offs, IBM was plagued by growth issues for years. Continue. Could IBM be a candidate to be removed from the Dow? Maybe. If so, would the index committee look at a stock with higher growth potential like Alphabet? The stock split perhaps allows for that discussion to take place. For years, Alphabet's high price made it impossible for the stock to be eligible in the price-weighted Dow Industrials. After the stock split, though, Alphabet theoretically could be swapped out for IBM without little impact to the index, since both are around the same stock price. Would Alphabet's share class situation complicate its eligibility? That's something the index committee would have to decide. It's also worth noting that while many investors think of Alphabet as a tech stock, for indexing purposes, S&P Dow Jones categorizes it in the Communications Services directory. IBM is a pure-play tech stock through and through. And the market is open. Let's take a look here. Just refresh my page. And S&P up 22 points. Dow Jones down 1.5 points, now up 3 points. NASDAQ is at 120 points, up 120 points, up 110 points. So pretty good start there for the NASDAQ and the S&P. The Dow Jones not so much. Let's take a look at cryptocurrencies as well while we're looking at pricing. Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 38,357, down about 1.5% over the last 24 hours. Ethereum is down just over 1% over the last 24 hours. XRP still trading at 62. Let's see if there's any major ones that are... None of them up very high. Polkadot is up about 2.5%. All right, let's keep going. What else do we have today? What else is in the news? Alphabet stock price target raised to 3,900 from 3,800 at UBS. So Alphabet is just being, everybody's very optimistic. There's huge hype around this stock split. And they've had earnings beats the last 4 quarters, so everybody's very optimistic. So the price target was raised to 3,900 from 3,800 at UBS. What else do we have? Google is finally splitting its stock. Will Amazon be next, leading to a Dow shakeup? Both big tech companies are well overdue for splits that would bring down their share prices, which could be the first step to a shakeup of the blue chip Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let's see it. Alphabet is finally carving into its gargantuan stock price with a stock split, which leaves only one big tech company remaining with a huge per share price despite an easy avenue to change it. Alphabet's path to a stock split is more difficult than it was for Apple, which has split its stock multiple times in the iPhone era to keep its share price low, a requirement of being in the blue chip Dow Jones Industrial Average. The difficulty stems from the only other stock split in the history of the company, largely known as and comprising Google. Google's previous split in 2014 was much different, as it was a vehicle to create a new class of stock that did not convey voting rights, an obvious ploy to maintain the control of co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin, who own Class B voting shares, and so on and so forth. Continue. If all that seems complex, it isn't just you, and the complexity forced upon Google investors seemed to be a major holdup for a long-needed stock split. Alphabet's Class A shares have surged approximately 336% since that split, which didn't really do much to reduce the per-share price because that was not the aim. The stock surged again in after-hour trading Tuesday, though it was more likely a result of a blowout holiday quarter performance that surpassed Wall Street's expectations. Shares gained more than 9% in after-hours trading, with each trading class topping 3,000 and putting a $2 trillion market cap. I think they're around 1.8 right now. Alphabet, they started in the soup business. Yep. The stock split, if approved by Alphabet investors, would leave only Amazon with a 4-digit stock price in Big Tech's club. Amazon has oddly avoided splitting its stock despite not facing Google's stock structure issues, which has led to conjecture that the company was instead pondering spinning out its cloud computing business, Amazon Web Services. So those are all possibilities there. Michael Frost says, if it ain't swinging 25% in crypto, it ain't worth looking at. To the moon. What do you think about Microsoft's $70 billion purchase of Activision? Should we be looking at to buy Microsoft? I think Microsoft, I held Microsoft last year, but I sold them. I made some profit on them. But all those tech companies have potential to keep going higher. That's for sure. Look at a crypto company called the Reaper Coin on XRP Ledger. Reaper Coin. And we have a special guest today, everybody. Welcome, Megalis. The Home Depot theme.
Why? I asked for the bell. I was supposed to.
There we go. They hit the wrong button.
The Home Depot. That's so ridiculous. Good morning, Christopheros and Gerald. Nice to see you. Good. Good. There it is. Nope. Nothing. Failage. Wrong one. This is a sad welcome. I'm going to tell you that right now. Sad.
He's getting some more money.
Let's do that again. There it is. There it is.
There we go.
Nope. And then, of course, they move.
There we go.
Okay.
That's a little bit.
Much better.
And viewership is dropping.
So tell me about this Alphabet.
So
Did
Alphabet.
you talk about this yesterday?
No.
Okay. Tell me, please.
They just had earnings yesterday.
Okay.
And so now they're splitting their stock price. They're splitting their stock 20 for 1. So one share price is going to be worth one share now is going to be 20 shares in July if they approve it.
What is Alphabet?
Alphabet is Google. It's the parent company of Google. So Google right now is trading at, let's see where they're at right now. At market open, $3,000 per share.
Okay.
So they'll be trading right around $140 per share.
What's the incentive? What's the idea behind this? More people get to buy in?
Yes, more people. It'll make it a candidate to be in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. so they can be listed on a different index as like as a blue chip stock, as like one of the big companies, one of the.
Interesting. Has this ever been done before?
It has. Apple did it, and actually, it's
Did it work?
It did.
Interesting.
Because every time they split, the stock goes up. Because psychologically, for investors, especially retail investors, because the market is mostly psychological.
Of course.
So for retail investors, it's psychological. It's like, oh, the stock's $3,000 a share. I can buy one share because I have $3,000 to invest.
Right.
So you're like, oh yeah, I own one share of Google. You know, that's not like good dinner conversation.
Right.
But if you can buy, 10 shares or 20 shares, then that's different because now you feel like you actually own a piece. So psychologically, more retail investors will invest in the price because it's down. Because a lot of times what I've seen is, I will talk about Amazon.
Is it really down
or
or is it just being split?
It's just being split.
So this is so bizarre to me.
Yeah, it's just being split, but it makes it. The stock is still the same price, but in your mind, it's cheaper.
What? Is this weird to anybody else or is this just me?
No, it is. A
So
lot
then,
of it
so
is
then it's
psychological.
ultimately for me just to say, oh, I have 30 stock in
in Google.
In Google.
And then it's
as
like,
opposed
okay,
to-
we'll do a stock split. Who knows? 10 years from now, it might be back at 3,000. Google, because they'll keep growing and taking over the world like they do.
Wow, this is very strange to me.
It is.
This is
Apple
very,
did the
very
same thing.
strange.
They've done a couple of stock splits, and I missed out on one of them that Abel got into,
Okay.
and he made money.
Yep.
But on the other ones, I've made money because I invested when they did the stock splits. Because it usually goes up historically.
I'm really glad that you're back on the show.
Me
I'll
too.
tell you why. Because after the show was done, I stopped investing. I literally stopped looking at everything.
The market crashed and cryptocurrency crashed, and
I literally just stopped. My interest went. It was just gone. Just totally gone.
yeah.
So now I feel like I'm back in the grind.
So Google is actually one of the stocks that I put on my list to research for today because of the stock split. So most people know Google,
Who approves of this?
Alphabet,
Who says like, yes, Google, you may?
the board, and then the shareholders vote on it,
Interesting.
which they'll get more shares. So if they'll get, if
It's
they
an
have one
incentive for
share
them.
now, they'll have 20. So it's an incentive for them because they'll have more shares, even though percentage-wise, they'll still own the exact same amount.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's yeah.
This is very difficult for me to understand.
But retail investors, psychologically, it gives the illusion that the stock is cheaper.
Very strange.
So there's hype around it because of that. They're like, oh yeah, I can invest in Google. It's only $140 a share.
So so the stock right now, if you wanted to buy Google stock, is what?
It's
What's the
$3,000 a
ticker
share.
mean?
It's
What's
GOOG.
okay, Goog.
Yeah, that's their Class C stock.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, because I do that every single time I get lazy and I type Google, instead of typing Google, I just do the Goog, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden the stock comes up.
Yep.
So then they split off, and then does anybody know, like, is it going to continue to be Goog, or
Yeah,
does
it's going to
become-
continue to be Goog.
Okay.
GOOG, yeah. Or GOOGL for Class A shares, which have voting rights. Their Class C shares don't have voting. They don't have voting rights. So at a shareholder meeting, if you have Class C shares, you can't vote.
Right.
But if you have Class A shares, you can vote. Or
Okay.
Class B shares. Yep.
Interesting. It's hard to keep up with everything, says Sarah.
Yeah.
It is a full-time job, but here at Check the Market, we're making it easier, one show at a time. I like goo. All right.
Nicholas says, now that you're back, the market will go back up. Yes, I agree.
I bet it will, though. I'm not playing. It's like
we
if it's
took
mostly
a break and the
psychological,
market took a
then,
break.
Yeah, there's investors that watch the show and they've been waiting for this.
So Google, it has its tentacles in every aspect of society, basically. Computing, software, cloud. It owns Android, Google Ads, Chrome, Google Play, YouTube, etc. They have a market cap of $1.8 trillion, and it's well on its way to $2 trillion for market cap. I wanted to bring the company up since they announced a 20-for-1 stock split, so there's a lot of hype around that. Is it worth to invest in this company? Stock splits give the company the illusion that its stock price is cheaper and easier to invest in. psychologically for retail investors. So that could move the stock further up if retail investors are buying in. A prime example of this is Apple historically. You can take a look at that. Google has had revenue growth around 19% over the past 5 years. They're sitting on a nice pile of cash and short-term investments, which will limit its financial risk to any potential downturns. Price-to-earnings ratio is around 26x. Price-to-book value is around 7.3x. They've had solid earnings beats the last 4 quarters, all around 10%, that's incredible. So this could potentially bring some return for you if you choose to invest in the company. Do some research on it and see if it's something you want to invest in or something you even feel comfortable investing in. They do not pay dividends. Google does not pay dividends. A lot of these tech companies don't pay dividends because they feel like they don't have to, which they just keep growing and growing their piles of cash instead of giving it back to investors. So the only way you're making money is if the stock goes up, which as a value investor, I'm not a big fan of, but yeah.
This Babylonian usury system is criminal.
It is.
Apple logo is satanic. Why do I have the feeling that Jason is shooting these off from his mother's basement? I can't imagine going on having that much time to be able to type these things out.
Low risk for Google. Fairly low, I would say. Would you invest?
In Google?
Yeah.
No.
No?
I'm not big into the bigger...
The big tech companies, Amazon, Google, yeah.
Nope, not interested. I feel like it's just too late at that point.
Yeah.
It's like... But who knows?
A lot of analysts are looking at 20% upside, which isn't too bad. But it's not like a cryptocurrency where, you know...
And see, that's why I feel like I'm
you got the million percent upside.
It's correct. It's like I want the payoff.
Yeah.
The quick, you know, but...
Medium high risk, PayPal. So PayPal, pretty much everybody knows what PayPal is.
Yes.
They're a technology finance company that owns PayPal, Venmo, and Xoom, 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 whatever you say it. Ticker symbol PYPL. So PayPal is way down today, 25%. They had an earnings miss, so they're down at $131 a share, which is 52-week low for them.
Wow.
So I think that there's going to be an opportunity with PayPal. I've been looking at them for a while.
I think they're done.
It's on my list for
They're
the...
done.
You think they're done?
I totally do.
Why do you think they're done?
I think they got into some political stuff
Yeah.
that they shouldn't have. And then you have Venmo, Cash App, all of these other up-and-coming platforms
Yeah.
that are going to... It's going to be a thing of the
Cash App definitely took a bite out of PayPal.
I mean, it's crazy.
But I think that...
it's
PayPal...
so much more user-friendly. I mean, if you're a business and you use PayPal, it's torture. It is literal torture. You have to jump through hoops to get paid.
But
you have to do this, that, and the other. I mean, granted, there's...
for overseas, it's easier to use.
For overseas.
Because everybody... Like, I know in Germany,
Almost
everybody has a PayPal
exclusively
account.
For overseas.
Yeah. Because it's just so much easier than... I mean, bank transfers in Germany are still a little more difficult than they are here. You can't just like Cash App somebody.
No, how about Western Union?
Yeah, I guess Western Union, but then you have to go to the Western Union store to pick up.
It's true. It is true. Have you ever done that?
Western Union, yeah. When I lived in Kenya.
Yeah, I remember going to Big D's. That's what it was called. And my mom would pay bills or whatever, and it would be through Western Union, a little kiosk right in the grocery store.
Yep, you go there with your cash, and then they send it. Yep.
And you'd pray that you got the numbers right because you weren't getting that money back. So weird, so bizarre.
It's easier now. That's for sure. So PayPal, that could be an opportunity. It's way down. I put it on my watch list. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. $132 per share, which is way down for PayPal. They are still a little bit expensive, so it's not considered a discount stock at this point. But compared to Square and MasterCard and Visa, which are some of its peers, I mean, MasterCard and Visa not necessarily, but they're in that realm, it would be considered inexpensive, so it's on my watch list. All right, for the tip of the day, if you haven't already done so, I went over this yesterday, make sure you create a trading strategy for 2022.
Uh-oh.
If you don't have a trading strategy,
Sounds daunting.
you're gambling. There is no better time to do this than the beginning of the year.
Listen, there's most of us out here aren't even, we're like, listen, Patrick, what are you talking about? Trading strategy.
Trading strategy. So 4 good rules to look at. This is just simple rules. Do research on a company. So pick a company this week. Look at it throughout the week. Familiarize yourself with it and its products.
I learned that from you. Yes.
Is it something that you want to invest in? Do you even believe in their products?
Uh-oh. And that's huge.
It is.
Because we have countless stories of people companies whose product stinketh.
Yes, but their
And-
stock price is up because there's hype.
Correct.
But long term, that's not gonna help you unless you're just day trading. So take a look at their products, take a look at their stock chart, historical performance, earnings, forecasts, things like that.
Okay.
Then decide, number 2, decide what price you're gonna enter the trade. Number
Okay.
3, decide what price you're gonna exit the trade.
Okay.
And then number 4, where will you place your stop loss? Because we all know, if we don't have a stop loss, we're driving the car without a seatbelt. I've done this many times, and I feel...
Please isolate that clip and keep it forever.
I feel flung through the windshield a lot of times when the stock bubble bursts. So Michael Frost's strategy died when his stock picking hamster died. So, yeah. So make sure you have a strategy. Did I send you guys that meme of the 2 different doors with people entering the 2 different doors? Put that one up real quick.
Nancy Pelosi has a trading strategy. Do your research on a stock, what price you're going to enter, what
Yes.
price you'll exit,
Yes.
and then set a stop loss.
Set a stop loss.
For every single stock that you're invested in.
Yes. Do you have it? It's the one.
I like to fly by the seat of my pants.
It's the one where the people are entering. Oh, did I not send it? Man, I always think I send these things. It might not have sent. All right. Well, put the one up of SpongeBob. That one's pretty good too. Just to end on a good note. Only invest. This is a good rule too.
Yeah.
Only invest.
Wow, honestly,
German's coming up.
German.
My brother was here this weekend. We were talking German,
what?
so only invest what you are willing to lose. So next month's rent.
This is me. That is so funny.
But let me tell you something. If you invest in Revival today,
That's it. Well, day.
there's incredible returns there. This is good soil. So if you'd like to do that today, we're going to give you an opportunity to do that right now.
That's right.
And as a thank you, we got a gift for you. Drum roll.
Michael Frost.
Let's see it. What do we have today?
Who's Michael Frost? He's funny.
Let's get this bread.
What? Is that? I'm sorry. Is that you?
That is.
What? Who did this?
Crypto Baker.
Come on, Brennan, get over here. Get over here right now. Come here. Come here. Come here. Congratulations.
Great
That
job.
is your best work yet. I'll take 3. I want that. I want to. Can we put that back up again? What the genius.
So let's get this bread with Check the Market.
Gerald, do you mind sending me 10 mediums of that? That is so bonkers.
For your gift of
Is
any
this a
size
brand new
today.
T-shirt, or
It
did
is.
you? What in the Sam Hill?
For the relaunch.
Okay, so who
Of
did
Check the Market.
who did the drawing of your face?
Somebody on
I'm-
Fiverr.
Literally amazed. I'm amazed at this. I'm sorry to interrupt. Please, Gerald, hook your sister up. If you invest in Revival today, of course, you got it. Yes, fine. But I want 10. Max is wearing this to school for sure.
He's been wearing them underneath his uniform and then shows his teacher.
This is just the best thing I've ever seen. All right.
So here are the ways to give.
Wow.
You can put them up. Hashtag donate on Facebook. You can text RT to 50155. Cash App, Venmo, even PayPal, even though the stock is way down today. We still accept PayPal. We also accept cryptocurrencies. If we have that slide.
Crypto.
Crypto Island, right there.
Yeah, boy.
You can scan that QR code or call our office, 412-446-2332.
Sarah, I do too. Sarah
And
Hansard
then-
says, good Lord, I need this t-shirt. It's true. I do too.
And then the good old-fashioned way, by mail, P.O. Box 7, Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, 15329. And then don't forget to claim your offer.
I'm going to write
At
that down right now.
revivaltoday.com/offer.
Revivaltoday.com times 10. Medium.
So
Don't forget that final step there if you actually want to receive a t-shirt. So please do that. And if that's all too complicated, give us a call, 412
446
446.
2332.
Good job.
Awesome. Well, that was it for today. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, awesome show.
All right.
Great job, Patty.
Let's go out there and make some money today, and I will see you all tomorrow.